Sol here from Brewtech. We're just about to do an unboxing of a brand new Mahlkönig E80 grinder sink. Just to show you guys some of the features, some of the differences and similarities to the grinder weight models, and also just to do a quick setup with some tips on what I recommend on day one. So let's get it open. Nice. Great, so once you've got your grinder on the bench and switched on, the most important first step is to update the firmware. Mahlkönig's released several patches since the release of these grinders, and they made a lot of improvements. So to get the best out of your grinder, you really want to make sure that it's up to date. So I'll just show you that process now. We'll just go back to the main menu, and under General Settings, we can set our time and date. Next, we're going to connect to our local Wi-Fi so we can download the update. So from the main menu, we'll navigate down to Connectivity, Wi-Fi Settings, and Enable Wi-Fi. From here, select and connect to view your local Wi-Fi networks, and then we're going to connect. So enter your network password and press OK. I don't know if we're going to put our network password on the instructional video. Okay. We have to wait for it to say connected anyways. And it takes like 10 seconds, 30 seconds. Come on, buddy. Yeah, this is stuff that Mahlkönig shows you how to do. There we go. It's not reinforced enough, I think. Cool. All right, there we go. Yep. You open the main menu, scroll down to Connectivity. Right here at the bottom is your firmware update. That's it. This can take 10 to 25 minutes depending on the speed of your Wi-Fi and how old the original firmware was on the grinder. Once again, it's just really important that you guys run this as soon as you get the grinder. A lot of patches and tweaks have happened since the initial release, especially if you're receiving a grinder that's been in storage for some months. It could be running quite old firmware. There's been improvements to the UI, there's been improvements to the scale performance, speed and efficiency, a whole bunch of stuff. So it's highly recommended that you update before you use. I'm just going to do another quick video going over the burr adjustment on these grinders. So once again, this is the E80 grinder sink. This is one of the key differences to the grinder weight. To get started, we're going to do a calibration on our burr distance. So that's the number up the top here. Basically, what we want to do is set the lower limit for that burr distance. So basically, get the burrs as close together as we can and set that as our starting point. That means we can grind as fine as we need and go all the way up from there. Pretty straightforward process. We're just going to open the menu, scroll down to Service. And then partway down here in the distance menu, we're going to see a function for calibrate. So go ahead and open that. You're going to get the instructions on screen, so you don't even need to listen to me here. You can literally just read and follow step by step. But to demonstrate, we're going to press and hold the top left button, and that's going to activate the motor. And while the motor's turning, we're going to move the burrs closer together. And we're going to keep going. They're quite far apart at the moment, so it's going to take a minute. We're going to keep going until we hear the burrs just about to touch. You kind of hear this chirping sound, and that's just the air between the burrs getting whooshed together, and that lets us know that we're nearly there. We set that as our 0 point, and that means we never go all the way to burrs touch, and we'll be able to grind as fine as we like. Press the back button, and it will ask us if we'd like to save that new setting. So I'm going to say yes. Fantastic. From here, brand new grinder, brand new burrs. I usually find that we're grinding a blend with a nominal 20-ish gram dose around 200 micron. So that's my starting point. Obviously, it's going to depend on the roast date, the machine, the water temperature, all of your other variables. But 200 is a good ballpark just to kind of get yourself going. So for those who haven't done it before, On the current firmware, which you've updated, very important, the UI gives you one button press before adjustment. So if we tap the jog dial, we can see our burr distance. Other tips and tricks to know when you're adjusting your burr distance. When you've got coffee in the grinder, it's always best to make smaller adjustments one after another and purge in between, rather than making large adjustments. You're just going to be pushing against the beans that are in the burrs, same as any grinder. You might not notice it so much on this one because it's easy to make a large adjustment in one go. You may be able to go 100 micron with a single button press, which on like an old Mazda or even the previous E80 grinder weights, you wouldn't be able to do that. You'd have to manually slowly adjust, but on here, it's possible to make a large adjustment in one go. Just be aware that you're going to be pushing against whatever coffee is inside the burr chamber. So purging in between adjustments is good, but generally through the day, you're only going to be making small adjustments anyway.